Wonderful, 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 wonderful Sunday. Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. You know, I went to church today and it was amazing because I didn't even realize it. Like, they were talking about the end of the 400 years of slavery. And I thought about that. Like, wow, slavery did start 1619, Jamestown, Virginia. The first slaves were brought over to America. 1619. It is now 2019. So that means that, in fact, they were brought over August. Great rise, Kimberly McCants. They were brought over to America in August of 1619. That's when they were brought to America. That's not meaning that was the beginning of slavery overall, because there's always been slavery since the beginning of time. But when it started in America, it was 1619. 400 years, and the Bible talks about the 400 years. And that was deep to me, because I think about, even now, if you're someone who is in jail or you're piled down with debts, or you have a dream to start or do something, but it just seems like you're constantly in bondage and you can't get out to do the things that you want to do. Something always happens. It seems like once you start climbing up the ladder or you start making positive changes, something comes in, a trial or tribulation that throws you back 2 or 3 steps. It's like you're always struggling, And I guess that has something to do with the 400 years. This is my perception. The 400 years, of bondage. But now we are starting to be awakened. Many people are starting to be awakened in different phases and different stages, but we're starting to be awakening. We're starting to awaken to who we are as a people, especially for those of us who are here in America, because we know that we were brought here. Our ancestors were brought here. We're not sure exactly where, if it was, Ghana or somewhere in Africa or even somewhere else in Israel or whatever, wherever our people started from, we know that we were brought over here. You know what I'm saying? And so America is our home, but it's not necessarily our birth home, if you understand what I mean by that. So just thinking about that, and it's like, wow. And I could feel change even within myself. Like, I'm noticing this change of not wanting to be bound by certain things. For me, I had to make a decision about not being bound by the corporate world and taking a step of faith and starting my own business and honing in on my own gifts and talents and just understanding that there is more to this life than what we see. I'm going through my own phase of awakening, and there are a lot of people who are going through phases of awakening, different levels. They're starting to want more knowledge, want more understanding. They know that our beginning did not start, where the history books say we started. And the history books say we started, in that transition here as a slave. But we know there was something before that. We all know there was something before that. And many of us, I believe, when the Devil Moon was out, there was a lot of awakening, a mass awakening of people starting to say, wait a minute. There's more to this than what I'm being told. There's more to me than just what the history book says. There's more. There's another history that we don't know anything about, because we were basically only taught about the history that started here. That's deep. So 2019 marks 400 years, y'all. 400 years of being enslaved in a home that was not ours. We are a royal priesthood. So when I speak to women and I speak to ladies and I say, you don't have to be, you don't have to be imprisoned in a relationship that is not serving you or or even a man. You don't have to be bound in relationships that are not healthy for you, because you are a queen and you are a king. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how cute you are. It's not that and I don't want anybody to think that I'm cocky when I'm just like, I'm a queen. I'm not saying that because I just think I'm some fine whatever, because I'm not. I'm Patricia, but I understand that I'm a queen because that's how God made me. And that's how God made you and everybody else. We are kings and queens. We are a royal priesthood. And there's more to us. God is about to start opening up the windows of heaven and blessing people with creative ideas and wisdom and knowledge and opening doors that have been closed before. A lot of doors have been closed, have been blocked, where you can't go through because that next level of what you need to go to is on the other side. But giants and obstacles and everything has stopped that. But with the beginning or the ending of this 400 years of bondage, I really feel like this generational curse is going to come to a conclusion with us who are believers, and we are going to be the ones who are going to start creating these businesses and things. This transfer of wealth is going to happen. It's going to happen whether people believe it or not. You know, I feel this consciousness, this awakening. Some people are afraid of. Kim McCann says some people are afraid to wake up, though, because the dream keeps them from being accountable for reality. And I understand that. And everybody, I really believe, Kim, that everybody is on their own path, their own journey to the final destination, or to or their purpose. Everybody's on their own journey, and everybody is not going to awaken at the same level, at the same time, in the same way. Everybody has to discover who they are in the way that God ordained for them to discover it. Because what you are able to understand and perceive and dissect and recognize, someone else may not be able to do that. Someone else, you might be in college in your awakening, but somebody else might still be in preschool. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because everybody is going to get there, because it's happening over a mass, there's a mass consciousness awakening. It doesn't mean that everybody's being awakened at the same time. And you could tell people what you've learned or where you are in your awakening, but that doesn't mean that that's where they are. So you have to respect everybody at where they are, but just understanding that there is a mass awakening. There really is. There really, really is. You know, there are a lot of people who, they look down on different religions, like, as if their religion is the best religion. But God put in my spirit that there are many paths to him. So you can't say that somebody who's a Jehovah's Witness or somebody who's a Catholic or somebody who's of some other denomination is not going to heaven because they don't believe what you believe. Because God said there are many avenues to him. There are many avenues. Everybody's on their own journey, and everybody's going to come to their awakening at their time and pace of what God has ordained for them. That's why everybody's not in college, and everybody's not, in high school. Everybody's not in middle school. Everybody's not in elementary school. Everybody's not preschool. Everybody's not born on the same day. Everybody's journey is different. So you have to respect people for where they are. But I definitely believe that there's a mass awakening. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We're starting to know who we are. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to know who you are and you start to recognize your worth, there's certain things you just will not tolerate anymore, regardless of the fact. You just won't tolerate them anymore. You just can't accept it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, God has been making a lot of promises, and his promises are real. And there's things that we do that we know we're not supposed to do that we got to deal with, because that's real too. We can't just take the things that we like out the Bible and leave the other stuff, or the things that we know God has told us, but leave the other stuff. Like it all works together. So just like the promises are there for the good things, the promises are also there if you don't do right or whatever. So But I definitely believe there's a mass awakening. I can feel it within my spirit. I can even feel it within who I am as a woman, at this part of my life. As far as relationships, there's time when there's some things I would have still, there's things that I dealt with, accepted, and allowed in relationships in my younger years that I just don't have the tolerance for now. You know what I'm saying? I'll get ghosted in a second if I know that if there's no future, if being with you means that it's just temporary and it's just for sexual gratification or whatever, but there's no future, I won't even mess with you because that's not where I am. There's a mass awakening happening. Different levels for different people, I know I'm a queen. And I know that somewhere out there is my king. And I just can't deal with the paupers anymore. I can't deal with the impersonators anymore because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Not everyone. Kim said, not everyone was created as kings and queens, beloved. That's not a shot at you. We were created as gods and goddesses. King, queen, and king is a position of power into which a person is ordained divinely. There are great responsibilities that come along with it. Yep, I agree. But I know I'm a queen. That's how I feel in my spirit, But I'm humble because I know that everything that I've come through has been because of my faith in God. Anything that I have now is because of my faith in God. And whatever comes, it will only be whatever blessings, whatever doors, whatever opportunities, whatever people who enter my life that I connect with and we prosper or we grow together, whatever, all that is only because of God. So as long as I keep him as head of my house, I know I'm good. And I may not agree with everything that you agree, Kim, or believe everything that you believe, but that's okay. Doesn't mean that you're right or I'm wrong or I'm right and you're wrong. It just means we're on different levels. So I can respect your level. I may not agree with everything in your level. I may not believe everything in your level, but that's okay because we're at different levels. We're at different levels. There's things that Marvin talks about. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. And it doesn't mean that he's right or wrong. It just means that I am not on the level that he is. Doesn't mean that what he's believing isn't true. It just means that I'm not on that level. Not on that level. So it's okay to be different because we're all on this journey. We're all on this journey together, but just at different levels. Just at different levels. Yes, ma'am. McCants. Kim, I may not agree with everything you say, but I do agree with your intelligence and your wisdom, and I know that you are someone who goes deep, deep beyond what you see, and that makes you powerful all within yourself because you know that there's more to this life than what we see. As long as you understand that there is more to this life than what you see. And as long as you have a relationship with God, it doesn't matter what part of the journey you're on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what area of awakening you're at. It doesn't matter. As long as you understand that there is more to this life than what you see and you have a personal relationship with God. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank. I just, sometimes I just get on here and I just want to encourage people. And when I'm encouraging people, I like to encourage myself. And I just want to say whatever those dreams are, those visions or those prayers that you have with God, that you spoke to him about or whatever, he is not a man that he should lie. And the minute you put that prayer or that request out in the atmosphere, God was already assigning angels to it, He was already assigning angels to your request. So whatever it is that you are believing God for is coming. It may not come at your timetable. You know what I'm saying? You might have thought it was going to be here in September, and it might not come till, April or May of the next year or whatever. We as humans look at the clock and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or we look at the calendar and say January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Or we look at the years and say 2019, 2020, 2021. We say that, because that's how we govern time. But God does not govern time that way. God governs time by when it's time, the season is time, and how it's time. So you can't, when you release the prayer into the atmosphere, you have to let go of it and trust his timing. Just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it's not coming. It's coming. Angels were already assigned to it the moment you prayed for it. But it's going to appear when it's time. And that time may not be on your timetable. But God is not a man that he should lie. And his word will never return to him void. I can't even begin to tell you all the times that I've trusted and believed God about something. And just believed in my heart that he was going to do it. And it may not have happened at the time stamp that I put on it that I wanted it to happen, but it happened. I can look back and then I can look back and understand why it didn't happen at the time stamp that I put on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can realize that I wasn't ready, or I was not in the perfect place for it to happen, or surrounded by the right people for it to happen, or whatever. But it was, but it happened. And it happened in God's timing. And then when I look back, I could smile and say, okay, God, I understand now. I understand. I understand why that relationship didn't work. I understand why that job didn't work. I understand why I had to leave here or there. I understand why I had to stop being with this person or that person, because the promise didn't come to pass until I made that change in whatever area that change needed to happen at. If I'd have been in that relationship, it would have destroyed or caused even more hardship on the path and may have hindered me. So that person was removed. That situation was removed. Or I was moved. I understand that I don't feel like I would have grown the way I've grown in Columbus, Ohio. I wouldn't have. I had to leave. A lot of prophets were not, and I'm not saying I'm a prophet, but a lot of people were not received in their hometown or in their place of birth. They had to move. God moved them. And they may have moved to a particular place, and they might have been there for a long time, but then God might have said to them, okay, it's time for you to now move here, because the next plan, the next process has to happen at this location, or at this job, or at this church, or in this neighborhood, or in this state, or in this city, or whatever. And you just got to trust his timing. But his timing is not necessarily your timing. Yeah. So I pray for everyone to have a blessed week, a prosperous week, as you continue to work towards your dreams and your goals and your visions, understanding that at the perfect time, whatever you've been praying for is going to happen. But enjoy the journey. Enjoy the present. It was funny. Lauren London was talking to a reporter. And the reporter was asking her, she said, when are you and Nipsey going to get married? Or what are your plans for you and Nipsey? And she said, well, what's the plans for you and your boyfriend? And then she was like, well, I don't have a boyfriend. She said, well, when you get a boyfriend, don't concentrate so much on the final destination. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the present. Enjoy the time that you got with him right now. The rest of it will work itself out. And it's so crazy because they didn't, even if they had gotten married, he still was only designed to be on this planet for a certain period of time. And the way that he passed away, even though it was violent or whatever, that was what needed to happen for his legacy to continue the way it's about to continue. And so for whatever reason, they understood that. They understood that us putting a ring on our finger at this is not, let me enjoy you right here. Let me enjoy you in my presence. Let me enjoy hugging on you and loving on you today Y'all stop putting off for tomorrow what you need to do today. Stop withholding affection and love from the people that are in your life today, because tomorrow is not promised. That was deep what she said, and it's so true. Enjoy your present. Enjoy the gift. That's what's most important. Tomorrow ain't... Why worry about what you're going to do tomorrow when you don't even know if tomorrow is going to be yours? You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. So enjoy the people and the things in your life today. Enjoy your journey right now. Learn everything you can right now from this exact moment right now. Who are you around? Who is in your life? Who you love? Who loves you? Who you are, the people that are coming to your life because you are supposed to give them something, whether it's knowledge, whether it's, a word, whether it's, something tangible. Just enjoy the people who are in your present, because that is the true gift. Kim said, even though they were not married according to the standard of society, they were indeed husband and wife. That's right. They were, to the point where she told the world, listen, he will always be my first love. Yeah, I'm a beautiful woman, and there's going to be other people that's coming. They're going to want to try to fill his shoes, but they going to have to understand from this day forth, and I'm telling the world, that was my soulmate, that was my husband, and he will always have my heart. That's deep. That's really deep. What's going on, Alonda? That's that kind of love that you strive for. That's the kind of love that I want. I want that kind of love that it's unconditional. Like, when I do meet my soulmate, when my soulmate enters my life, if he hasn't already, because for all I know, my soulmate may already be in my presence, and I just don't know it. You know what I'm saying? It just it's not the right time for us to recognize it. Or maybe he's coming, however it is. To be with somebody who is going to love me unconditionally, and I'm going to love him unconditionally, that is the bomb. That is the ultimate. You know what I'm saying? That person to think I'm beautiful no matter on my worst day. No matter if I done picked up 20 pounds or my hair messed up, afro, rash on my face, whatever. He still sees the inner essence of who I am. And he loves me unconditionally. That right there is the ultimate type of love that I want. I want that unconditional love. I don't want that fly-by-night love. I don't want that quickie in the bedroom love. I don't want that. I want that soul love. That soul love. That deep on the inside love where I know who you are and you know who I am without even saying a word. When we're around each other's presence, the love is in the air. That's the kind of love I'm waiting on. That's the kind of love I desire. That's what I want at this point in my life. And anything that's not on that level or working towards that level, or if I don't see kind of like somewhere that there's a possibility that I ain't messing with it, because then I know that that's not for me. Yeah. What's going on, Yolanda? Happy Sunday to you, ma'am. He's watching that. And you know what? There's a strong possibility that my soulmate, my future mate, my husband, the future man that I'm going to be in a relationship, may have been watching my videos or may have been watching me through social media. There's a strong possibility. And if he is, all I can say is, I'm waiting on you, boo. Whatever you want to attract, you must be. That's right. And I think I am. I mean, I'm okay in this period of singleness, because in this period of singleness, I'm learning to love me. And so while I'm learning to love me, respect me, understand me, I'm preparing myself for the one who will be able to see that in me, and I in him. Yeah, you're right. We did talk about that, Kim. Same for you. It's coming. I'm not even, like, there was a time I was just like, oh my gosh, because I've been single for so long, but I could feel it coming. I can literally feel it coming, Kim. Like, I can literally feel his energy. I can feel his energy. I don't know if I've met him or if I'm about to meet him, but I can feel his energy. I can feel his energy. Yeah. So anyway, I ain't gonna keep going on and on and on, y'all. Y'all have a good day. You gotta know that you got victory. Victory. Indeed. In the season of singleness, you are able to hear the voice of God. Yes. Yes. It's not till you get silent within yourself and you just really have communion within yourself and you just start to really just taking time to listen. You know what I'm saying? That you really can hear God's voice. You can hear, and He'll give you signs. And the signs will always come from different avenues that are not connected. Yeah. Love you on purpose with purpose. I love that saying, Kim. Love you on purpose with purpose. Same for you, Mama Sita. Have a good day.